Up, but I feel like doing
I'm
that
your host,
mid-episode
Dean
would be
Get the
fun.
Boss, and we are about
God.
to talk to some really interesting people.
Get some controversy.
Get ready.
Yeah, like this.
Should I emphasize the D at the end? Are you ready? I'm ready. Are you ready? All right, let's go.
No, Redmond is
Should I
fine.
overemphasize the D?
Redmond, and
What do you
then
think? Like super
And
emphasize?
you're
Oh,
on.
Rory Redmond.
How
you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking.
hear.
It's been a crazy week here in BC, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy. A lot of things going on.
A lot of
things going on. Only thing Hurd wants to talk about is puke. in every regard of the word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Yeah, that is a hot topic right now.
Yeah. No, I'll say
No.
that much.
Not for me. I'm off of Herd.
Really?
Or there's this new app too. The freshman
Fizz.
keep talking about Fizz. I'm
Fizz.
Like, the
It's
hell is
way
that?
better. It's way better than Herd.
It's better than Herd.
I will say, like, usage-wise, it is so nice to use. It is such a nice interface because it's more like you can see all-time posts.
Oh, I
You
love
can
that.
see popular at the time, and then you can filter it like 24 hours this week, this month, all time. It's really nice.
So, do they have like a top spot of all time with like the most likes on
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Really? That's awesome. What's the top one right now?
Oh my God, I'll show you.
Let's whip it
Fizz
out.
is actually a really fun app to use, and my sister's been using it. She went to Wake Forest. She used it all 4 years, as
Really?
far as I'm concerned.
To clarify, this is not an advertisement.
This is not an
for
advertisement.
Fizz.
They will be. To
Just
be fair,
curious.
this is the new #1, which is good. A little 4 wells post here. Put that
Yeah,
out there,
yeah.
which is
that's
good.
valid.
But then there's the #2, which is mocking Bapst, and it just keeps going. Actually,
I
it's a
love
very
this.
entertaining app.
Classic.
It's actually so nice. You can search shit, activity. It's actually very nice. Oh, this is the key. They have a leaderboard.
Oh, no way.
So it's more like, I actually don't know what it's more like. They've got a thing so you can see how good as a fizzer you
a
are.
fizzer, yeah. Wow.
I'm a
see
pretty
that.
good fizzer,
Are you
dude.
on the Fizz list?
I'm not on the Fizz list. I'm ranked number 1,749. Fizz King's #1, bro. Fizz King's
King.
been
I mean,
#1.
that name checks out, right?
They've been-
King of Fizz. Holy.
Shit they've been doing.
Yeah.
They've like this app was apparently paying people to post on it for a
Oh,
long
yeah.
time. They had their
Classic.
ambassadors. They had to post 30 times a day.
That's
Excessive.
That's
a little
a
excessive.
lot,
It
yeah,
is a lot of
not
times
even
a
gonna
day.
lie.
Have you used any social media to advertise Fulton Leadership Society? Plug time.
Oh.
Which is why you're here, by the way.
yeah,
President
you
of
know-
Fulton Leadership Society.
Thank you for that, Dean. We
Yeah,
do.
he's always hyped up to be. He's amazing. He's the one and the only, and I'm trying to make you turn a little red.
I'm only as strong as the people behind me. Will, not you,
Oh,
with the
Will.
exception of Will. No, I'm kidding. We have a great team. But yeah, we do. We have an Instagram. We have a LinkedIn group that's actually brand new as of this year. Shout out to Hadley Middleton for putting that together. She's a beast. Backbone of our organization as well. Our whole team is. But yeah, so FLS, which is kind of like morphed into like the student-run continuation of the honors program in CSOM. Basically, it is kind of centered on both like personal development, especially like the younger kids in FLS, and then as you kind of progress through the pipeline, more so like professional development. It's really helpful just like expanding your network too. We also put on a lot of events for the broader BC community, both like resume nights, speaker series, panels, that type of thing. Honestly, typical kind of CSOM club, but it's a great time, and I think like overall, by far the most important aspect of it is just the community. We have this great like mentorship system, and I think like mostly like that's where I have seen the most benefit of FLS, and just kind of growing those like deeper friendships with like people in the club. I think is super awesome as well.
Right. What do you think separates FLS from some of the other clubs? Because I know groups like Start at Shea, they also do some panels, and they and like the Real Estate Association has a mentorship thing. What makes FLS special?
Yeah, I think what makes FLS unique is like just the social component. Like we're all friends, and I think that's kind of what like separates us. Is it's not business all the time. It's like a lot of just like hanging out with each other, getting coffee chats. We send out like coffee chats like every week, just like within the club.
You guys are the cool business kids. You're like the cool business. Kids.
Maybe. I mean, depends.
I mean, Will's in it. I don't know
Depends how
about-
you look at things. But
It's gonna be a Will shit episode.
But yeah, I think that's what mainly separates it. Like any organization or club, it's the people. I think we have some great people. Not to say that other clubs don't. That's not what I'm getting at. Whoa, but to say that, yeah, at least with us, just like, yeah, I mean that those mentorship pairings freshman year, you get paired with a sophomore, and they just keep with you those, I guess, 3 years, because eventually they graduate. But it extends into like a whole like family tree almost, and
It's like a frat.
no,
No.
not at all actually. But no way.
I'm gonna stop throwing you under the bus.
Please. No, I think like more so it's just like fun. Like for example, my mentee Zach Zawacki, great kid. He's abroad right now, breaks my heart. But his freshman year, we picked up like 3 kids just because we wanted to make sure like we had like an influx of like our freshman class, big freshman class last year in FLS, and I think like just having like a bigger family is more fun too. We do more, we hang out a lot. So yeah, I don't know. That's the differentiator for me, and I think a lot of people say the same thing. And then of course, like there's the added benefits of like the networking opportunities post grad. Like I said, like being the continuation of the honors program that can help sometimes. But
talk about that a little bit. What do you mean continuation of the honors program?
Yeah, so back in the day, there was an honors program within CSOM. Now, since then, CSOM's gotten a lot more like competitive, and companies now kind of look at CSOM as a whole as like very, very competitive. And so I think like there was less of a need for an honors program, and so they got rid of it. Forget which year, like five years ago. But that freshman class of honors program kids,
2018. Thank you.
Thanks, Will.
Oh yeah. Wow. How could I forget? Wow, that looks bad. But yeah, they got rid of it because it wasn't really needed. But the kids in it, they'd always like hang out. They were friends. I believe, I'm not positive, but I think they all lived in like the Madeiros, Madeiros?
Yeah, in the back corner.
Yeah, don't quote me on that, but all I know is that like it was like a really close-knit community, and so they wanted to keep that aspect of things.
Okay.
So I think like that's why we place such an emphasis on community, is just because like that's what like HP, like the honors program was. But I think like to where it helps us now is like we are not honors program kids at all. I'm an idiot, but no, I'm kidding. I like to say I'm like the Trojan horse of academics. Like you never know when it's coming, but then it's just like boom. That was a joke, but didn't hit. But no, to be honest, I think like now the way it helps is just like there were a lot of like honors program kids in the network, so that can sometimes help you out. But also like I think like there's this false perception, especially with freshmen, that like they don't get into like a club like FLS or Scholars of Finance or like any of these kind of like business oriented clubs, and they're like, oh shit, I can't get a job now because like I'm not like in this network. And that's like something that like I wish I could like change about this whole process and everything, is that like realistically, like just because you're not in a club doesn't mean you can't like reach out to someone. My cold outreach to like an FLS or an honors program alum is the same as like if like someone who wasn't in FLS were to reach out to them. Like I think that's something that like I want to emphasize too, especially with the freshmen. Like I don't know how many freshman listeners you have, but
we're trying to get more of them.
Good, let's get them on. Let's get them on board. But that's like a really something that I think is really important in any club. Like I think like what was it, like week 3 clubs start getting like start like accepting people, and with that comes a lot of rejections. And I think in many ways there are more rejections than acceptances.
No, don't look at that. Don't look at that.
But in that regard, I wish we could kind of change that perception too. Is like also like for me too, like if any freshman approached me and was like, hey, like could we like grab a coffee? I'd be like, hell yeah, I love freshmen. But
pause. Stop.
I mean that. Oh, it's getting but it actually is really, really hot.
He took it out to show off the button down too.
Yeah, really professional out here. But,
I will say that is a great point, because I know I didn't realize coming to college how competitive some of these groups were to get into. Like, for example, I remember putting my name in for Stock Talk which is another one of the business clubs. And I get an email back 2 weeks later, and they're like, sorry, you didn't make the interview round. I was like, I didn't know that it was a tryout. They didn't even say that. I thought it was just a sign up and go. So I didn't know it was going to be competitive coming in. And I did get worried. I was like, well, now I got to like put my name in for a million different groups. And then I found out there are plenty of ways to meet people, like classes, whatever. This is my main method of meeting people around campus. I mean, we literally talk to you for an hour, and then you can't get away from me. And then I just bug you for the rest of your life. And I'm constantly there in your dreams, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And I welcome that.
Amen.
I want that. I'm dreaming about this tonight. You know? Who knows?
But yeah, no, that's a great point to mention. That's a great point to mention.
Yeah, I think it's important, you know, like me like sitting here as like president of FLS. I mean, I'm also like an IBA reject. I'm also like you know, like I've been rejected from so many things too, and it's like, yeah, one thing just like worked out. So I think like it's important to have like in the back of your mind when you approach these things. Just like, I guess for freshmen especially, because I feel like it's really hard those first few weeks. And honestly, like something that like is foreign to me, like I don't know, because our freshman year was COVID. So we were like the last kind of COVID class where like our year was just like strange. And like even your guys' freshman year, like the start of it was like a little weird too. Or wait, no, you're not. That's what I'm saying. The juniors,
Mask
sorry.
came off halfway through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not you guys. Sorry.
I didn't know what you're talking about. I just felt, disrespected.
That was my point. Actually, I was trying to disrespect you on your own podcast. So no, I'm joking. But yeah, I think like that was something that like was so foreign to me because I just had no idea. Like, also like the activities fair was like a Zoom link, and like how does that even work? How? I don't know.
Did they give you like a spreadsheet? And you could join whatever meetings you want? How did that work?
To be honest, like I blacked out that whole like portion. I just forget it. I don't know. Okay. It was weird. It was a weird time. You know, there was a lot of like. Ironically, I think like our floor was really close. Like
ours was too.
Yeah, like shout out Keys 3 South beasts. We would yeah, we did some fun things. I don't want to say anything like incriminating, but we like bonded. I think like that was the point, is like when we like couldn't do anything else, there was a lot of just like hanging out with like the people around you.
Yeah.
And getting closer with them. But it was weird because like our club interactions were like super strange and just like different. But I was
gonna say, having that and you mentioned this earlier though, having that community has to be really helpful.
Yeah.
Especially because in CSOM it's competitive.
Yeah.
It's a very competitive place. They have grade deflation? Is that what they call it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the curve.
Yeah, I saw Will put his head in his hands.
Yeah, the dreaded curve.
And that honestly makes things really competitive. Like if I saw someone trying to cheat off me in CSOM, I'd be a little upset.
Yeah.
You're taking my chances out here.
Yeah, one of my hot takes is like it's low-key a good system. I think like it sucks, but at the same time, like it really incentivizes like kids to like work hard and not cheat, because you cheat, like I don't know, you're just not like helping yourself.
You're lesser than. You're lesser than.
But I wouldn't go that far.
No, you are, Rory. You're worth less.
Academic integrity
is key.
Greater than
anything else.
Yeah, you know.
But that's not the case.
Yeah.
In the like the cores, for example. Like if someone's cheating off me in history, I'm not gonna bat an eye, honestly, because I'm flattered.
Yeah, I'm flattered.
I think they should be testing me, even though they can't.
The Roman Empire. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about the Roman Empire.
Speaking of hot topic, I don't get this trend, but
I've been seeing this all over.
Yeah, you know, they're always thinking that we're like talking about.
Have you heard about
this?
I
don't know.
I do think about the Roman Empire sometimes.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire, would you say?
It's probably once every 2 weeks.
Once every 2 weeks, like twice a month, you'd say? Probably.
Just about.
Probably. You know what this trend is, right? We're not catching you on the left.
Yes, no, I do know what the trend is.
Because I thought you were just like.
I'd say probably 20 times a year.
20 times a year. How often do you think about the Roman Empire, Rory?
I think like I'm gonna be honest here, like probably daily. So many things came from Rome. Yeah. You know, like everything we have.
What's your favorite Roman aspect in your life? What's your favorite Rome on a day-to-day basis? You know,
that's such a good question. I think milk.
Milk?
The Romans invented milk.
Did they really?
They
were the first ones that decided to stroke up a cow.
Yeah,
like
you know,
okay.
not getting into
Holy
detail.
shit,
like,
dude.
yeah, I think like the whole process of like
Let's
discovering milk. I think there's two avenues, right? Like it was either like a really weird dude, or like it was like, okay, well, you know, like humans like have milk, and maybe we can like supplement human milk with cow milk. I
Yeah.
mean that makes sense, but
I mean, I do think about it though. Who was the first person who
But-
invented milk? Yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
Who was
yeah.
the first person to decide?
there's
we're just gonna do this
pasteurization.
to a cow?
which
Pasteurization.
you know, like we know who invented pasteurization, the process of like making milk safe, but like the Romans were like, you know, like I'm
They were
just gonna
just
drink
drinking
this.
it. They were
Yeah.
just
Wait,
Another
you're
fun
saying-
Roman
you're saying
fact
we
for you.
Do you know who invented
Pasteurization, Louis something. Look it up. I don't know.
What?
I swear,
Hold on.
it's Louis something. Who invented pasteurization? This was like a big
How
thing.
recent is this?
Like a couple years ago. Couple being like
Fucking
hundreds.
God.
Louis
You got it
Pasteur.
right.
Yeah,
You got
I'm
it
Louis
right.
Pasteur.
You got it
Louis
right.
Pasteur.
Let me turn this on.
Doubting me.
Louis
I mean,
fucking Pasteur.
yes.
Pasteur.
And which makes sense. Like the name kind of like checks
Pasteur.
out. Right?
I
Like,
don't know. Yeah,
like,
just
I don't know.
popped.
Crazy coincidence.
You said a
So,
couple
but,
years ago. What
yeah.
was it? When was
Another
this done?
another Rome fun fact that I actually
Yeah.
learned last night was that they used to boil down grape juice in lead pans, and they used it as like for like a bunch of different things, as well as like a natural sweetener and also a contraceptive, which is kind of crazy because it's just
Weird.
boiled down grape juice with
Do you think
lead
I
pans.
don't know if that worked.
No, it actually it caused a lot of people to die because
Jesus
you can't
Christ.
really consume lead.
You can't.
It's like
no,
super
you can't
bad.
consume lead. You also, you
Oh.
know.
Let me turn this on.
Yeah, go ahead and
Yeah, I
pop
don't
that.
know if like
Huh. Well,
I don't know,
Where the
maybe
fuck is the
like
click button?
it's on the other screen. There you go. Yeah.
that a
see.
donut?
We'll try one more time. That looks like that contraception you were talking about.
Yes?
I don't know what that is.
oh yeah, there's the thing in the Sistine Chapel, you know,
What?
the painting. Go
Yeah,
go
yeah,
down,
yeah.
go down.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Where?
Scroll down.
Sistine
scroll down.
Chapel, yeah, right there.
No.
To the left a little bit.
No, click out of that. Click out of
Oh,
that.
click. Okay.
What?
I just saw it. Yeah, that right there. You know.
Oh,
that-
yeah,
that
I
famous
forgot that
painting?
was on the Sistine Chapel.
The famous painting.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, of course.
Oh
I
my
mean, like that's a
gosh.
given.
For reference, guys, for you that are not seeing anything, it is the thing of the fingers of God and Adam, and he's holding a condom.
Yeah.
Is
for
that
the
not
best.
in
Is it
the?
Adam?
I don't know if it's Adam. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I'm,
I think
it is
yes.
I might
I
not
wanna
be the
go
best
with
person to
yes.
ask, but that looks like cranberries and lead or whatever you said it was. Yeah.
No, it's a boiled down grape juice.
Right. Sorry, my
Yeah,
bad. Boiled
yeah,
down
you
grape
know.
juice. Yeah. No, cranberries and lead.
A little fun fact for you. But yeah, I think like
What else did
Rome's
the Romans
crazy.
do?
Romans invented like hella stuff.
Hella crazy. They invented hella stuff.
Yeah.
Boiled down grape juice. Yeah, give me some information here.
Yeah, let's.
What does that even
let's get
create?
into this.
Contraceptive. Here we go.
Um,
Effective boiling on That's not it, is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Study grape molasses. Here, give me. Will
It's
give me
definitely
an article.
real.
Give me an article, Will.
Look up.
Give me something to read.
Look up the. Ancient,
I'll get back to you guys.
Ancient
Yes.
Rome boiling down grape juice in lead pans. I think that's the kicker. Is the lead. The whole
Lead pan,
process.
the
You
lead
know.
Ancient Rome.
Yeah, they invented meth too. Fun fact.
Did they? How long were they around for? 2,000 years?
I think Rome is still a place, if I'm not mistaken.
Rome.
I think they're still around.
I
but
think they might.
maybe
be here.
just like rebranded a bit. You know.
How long did they were the longest lasting empire of all time, right?
I don't know. Will's shaking his head. It seems like he's our empire expert. Ottoman?
No,
It's not
Constantinople.
How long was
He
Constantinople
was-
around? Let's see.
Ottoman.
Let's do
no?
some Google here.
Or it might be the Egyptians.
Let's see. Longest lasting empire. Here we go.
Oh.
Byzantine.
The
Byzantine. was the
Byzantine
next.
Empire. Great
The Pandian.
point.
The Pandian. What is that? Hold on, let me turn
Portuguese
this
is
on
number
for you
10.
guys.
I didn't even know they were around that long. What happened? Portuguese, what happened?
What's the Pandian?
No, the Roman Empire was the longest lasting.
What are you talking about?
Yes, bro.
Wow.
Lasts from 27 BCE to 1453. 1,500 years as an empire. Yeah. They made a lot of condoms out of grape juice in that time.
I don't think that was the exact process. I think it was like they would like drink it and they would like help. Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy story though.
Crazy trends.
Yeah, Rome. You know.
Where
Like,
did that come from? Where did that trend come from? Some girl asked her boyfriend if he thinks about Rome much, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah, like-
Rome wants to talk about Rome.
Yeah, I don't know. And then it just like spiraled out of control into like a joke that.
Oh, it's not a joke to me.
Yeah, no, it's serious.
No, it's
you
serious
know.
to me. No, it is. Yeah.
I think
It's
it's
my
really
life.
important. I think like, you know, everything came from Rome,
Does-
including milk.
That's kind of make you wonder what people will look back on us and think. You know,
Yeah, what are
500 years from now.
What are they gonna say? Like in like 10 years, it'd be like, who was Dean? Dean Podcast. For reference, Dean in my phone is Dean Podcast because sometimes I be forgetting, and I put people's name in my phone like if like in case like I don't know.
I don't know who this is.
So Dean
it's
Podcast here.
Yeah. Remember that one time? Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like, in like 10 years when you graduate, hopefully it takes a little less than 10 years
10
for you
years.
to graduate. But they're going to be like, who was this like kid Dean Podcast? Where'd he come from?
I
Like,
just pray to
ooh.
God that in 500 years, when the aliens come down and take over the planet and there's nothing left of the human race, that this isn't the only thing they find.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I hope that first off, it'd take a while for them. They'd have to go through my hard drive. They'd have
Yeah.
to find my hard drive.
Yeah,
to
true.
find this
They'd have
video.
some great recipes for boiled down grape juice.
They probably
and lead
would.
pans.
They
Yeah,
probably
I
think
mean,
that's legitimate too.
yeah.
That is real, right? I just want to make
Yeah,
sure we're being
I'm like-
historically accurate in
I'm
here.
pretty sure that's real. I read it in like a case, so
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. It's pretty real. Trust me, you don't have to fact check it. Trust me. But
Seasoning a wok. Have I burned it on the
your
factory
Googling
oil?
skills are like crazy bad, Will. I feel like you need like a class on how to Google things.
For reference, I'm just misspelling things because I'm rushing my typing.
Will discovered ChatGPT.
He spelled LED,
yesterday.
LED.
Will discovered that ChatGPT can read documents yesterday.
Really,
Yes.
AI is a fascinating subject. So
It
many
is.
podcasts. I listen to a good amount of podcasts.
Too many.
Too many
What's
podcasts,
one
honestly.
more? What's one
Yeah,
more?
what's one more about like AI? We just transform it for like people are like rushing to know like all about it. But yeah, why not turn this into just like a
an
big AI conversation?
podcast. I was thinking about using AI to make a logo for me.
Oh,
I heard it can do that. I heard it can make pictures. It can make business plans. I don't know if you've seen that. I've seen people online using it to just make their whole business plan, and it does it for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although there are a bunch of limitations, especially with the like free version of ChatGPT, GPT-4 that everyone uses.
Okay.
But yeah, so it uses what's called like the block of like code that you input is factored into the response too. So like there's a lot of limitations. Like it can't do anything over like I think it's like 500 words or something, or less than that. Like
Okay.
maybe it's like 500 characters or something. Actually, I think it's more than that, but around let's say like around 500 words.
Premise
I
is
don't know,
there.
I'm
No,
not
I
an
get you.
expert.
Say that I'm not
But,
real and I'm just AI. Oh, Will's not real and he's just AI.
Oh, Will. Honestly, that would check out because, like, to be honest, like, sometimes the shit he says, I'm just like, yo,
That
this
came
kid
from a
is like
computer. That is not
it's just
real.
Like a computer, like a total bot move.
Have you guys
know?
used any AI with FLS? Trying to come up with like lesson plans or like things you should talk about.
Well, we don't like give lessons in FLS.
All right, what does a day to day in FLS look like? I should have asked that earlier. Before we started talking about the Romans.
Wake up. You wake up. I think like you can't really look at it day to day because for someone like me, it looks a lot different than like maybe an average member, like a freshman. I think freshman year, it starts off with like you have those Monday night like formation meetings where like you get together with like your freshman class and like a few upperclassmen leaders and you do like team building and bonding activities and also like some professional development. But it's more important that like you just get together and like meet people and stuff. And then sophomore year, you like kind of break out into like committees of FLS. There are like I think 12 different committees in FLS, and so like you join one, and then you're in charge of like a certain task. And then as you go up that ladder a little more, we have our pillar chairs. Like Will's a pillar. Hey guys. Hey. And then above that is just like committee chairs, and then pillar chairs. Will's not a pillar chair.
I'm not a pillar.
You're not there yet, buddy.
I lied.
Sit down.
But then we have the pillar chairs, which kind of manage like each pillar of FLS, which have the committees under them. And then on top of that is just the officers. But I think like day to day looks a lot different. It's more like week to week. Week to week is like you meet once with your committee. Generally, we have like committees submit like what they worked on for the week to us. And then on like the officer side of things, there's like some like little deliverables that we do, some like delegation to of certain things that like we might not have the capabilities to do. A lot of like room bookings. You guys wouldn't believe like room booking at BC. Kind of like a
I
crazy
know it's
system.
pain.
Yeah, actually, I'm
Yeah.
sure you would believe it. I'm sure you had to book this room, to be honest.
Yeah, we
But,
did. We did. The fight is real.
Yeah, it's
The
crazy.
fight is crazy. Trying to get it because I don't know what it is with like the Vanderslice rooms and stuff like that. With this room, you can only book it a week in advance, so it's first come first serve. So at midnight, If I won on Wednesday,
Right.
midnight on Wednesday
on
night,
Wednesday night. Yeah.
I'm ready.
That's how
I'm
we
ready.
do. That's what we did actually. We had like a little like room booking session where we like on Wednesday night for our interviews we had to book.
He's saying room booking, not rum booking. You fucking idiot. No. Turn the screen on. Show them what you were doing
this
right
is
now.
what I mean about
Turn the screen on.
Actually, let's
Stop
talk
it.
about.
Turn this is what rum booking. What does rum booking mean?
I thought
Guys,
he was.
come on. Okay, I get shit for this all the time about like how I say the word room.
Room.
Room. Whoa. Okay. Like rum.
Rum?
Like it's a room.
It's
a room.
It's your
No.
room.
I am not ridiculous for thinking room booking the way he said
Rum.
that was rum bucking.
I mean, it
Rum.
sounded like you said rum booking, but at the same time, like context will.
Rum.
I don't know.
Rum booking.
Rum booking.
That's like assuming like you need to book like some rum.
You need some rum? Oh, it's Go Puff. I'm sorry. That's what you were talking about.
That's
You're
what I was
talking
talking
Go
about.
Puff. My bad.
Go Puff
Sorry.
is rum booking basically.
How awesome would it be to be sponsored by Go Puff? I was thinking about this
To
the
be
other day.
sponsored
To
by
be
Go Puff?
Like, hey, like a Go Puff ad for me would look like, hey everybody, thank you for listening to all you freshmen, and then Go Puff.
It's like
yeah.
Go Puff just spawns in
Just
the corner. and
Just
you're
the
like-
dude, Go Puff in the corner.
somebody like on a bike, like with like a bag of chips. I don't
You
know. I
ordered
don't
some
get Go Puff.
underage.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's okay. Yeah.
You hear they
so-
got banned in the state of Massachusetts because they were selling to so many BC kids.
I didn't know that, but
Yes.
like I like believe it. I'm sure they do. That's like a tough system. I feel like the only way you can survive is like by Go Puffing non-age restricted.
I
items.
remember I never looked at the app in my life. I didn't
never
even know it
have I
existed
either.
until the ban came out this summer. I think it was this past summer.
Mm.
But I remember people talking about it. They never check my ID. They just drop it and leave. I'm like, okay,
Mm.
that's a business strategy.
Like yeah. There we go. Like checks out. I mean, I don't
But
know.
yeah, I thought that was hilarious. They stopped selling in all of Massachusetts.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah.
also the okay. Before I say this, I want to know what you guys call them.
Okay.
They are the little bottles of alcohol. They're really really
Shooters.
tiny.
Shooters. It's not a
call
fucking
it
nip.
shooters.
That is
Okay,
the
so
I've
nips.
never had.
All right, let's talk
I've never
about
had
nips.
a shooter in my life. I've
A
never
nip-
had. I've never
a
had
nip
alcohol
is
in my life,
attached
so.
to a boob. It is not a bottle of alcohol.
Okay, to be fair though, like a shooter has a much worse context that like I think like a nip.
No,
is
like
just,
shot,
you know-
shooter. Like it's a shot, so it's a shooter.
That makes sense. I never thought about that.
It's not a nip. Although you do put nips and nips
Do you know
in
what?
your mouth.
Do you know what nip comes from? The word nip.
Nipple.
No. Good guess, but no. It comes from the German word Nipperkin.
This is a fun.
Which
There's
is
no way
really
this
cool.
is real.
Google it.
It comes from the German word Nipperkin,
Nipperkin.
which I believe means like little bottle of alcohol.
Wow.
How does this kid know
How
this?
did you
shit?
know that? Yeah,
What the-
so a little.
What the hell? What the hell?
That's what I'm saying though. Like
Okay.
a little fun fact that
I'm
like
reading this. Okay. Definition of nipperkin: a small quantity of beer, wine, or spirits,
Okay.
yeah.
or a small cup or vessel, usually holding 1/8 of a pint.
How big is a shooter?
For measuring liquor.
An eighth of a pint.
Is
It
it
is
a pint?
150 milliliters.
Which is how many milliliters?
50
in a pint?
milliliters.
800 milliliters in a pint? Or that's
100
not math. That's not
150.
math at all. 1,200 milliliters in a pint? Is that right? Let's do some Googling here.
Okay.
That's.
A
Okay, well,
pint
maybe-
is
maybe
like
big is alright.
Hawk
how bug is period equals. Dude, this kid cannot Google. It's a bummer that like this isn't like a show where people can see things because if you could see this,
Oh, they can
would
see
be
it. No, it's on the
crazy.
screen.
Okay,
It's
good.
on the-
Well, even better, bro.
They're seeing everything happen. How milliliter big is a shot?
Okay, yeah, so it's 50. It's 50 milliliters or 1.5 ounces.
Okay.
Okay, right.
Okay.
So, okay, now
and then-
I want to circle back to the point of how Will said it is ridiculous because a nip is a nipple. That is not what this
It's
is.
a nipperkin.
It's a nipperkin. And I feel like this is under talked about. Shut up. All right, dude. All right. I think the leap from shooter to shot is like even more ridiculous.
I mean,
Does
so a
anyone
nipper-
use the word nipperkin?
So they say a
yes,
nipperkin.
everyone in Germany.
They say a nipperkin is an eighth of a pint, right? But this is what is that? What would that be?
I have to go.
24th of a pint?
I don't know. Will's googling like recipes
Less?
at this point. I don't know what he's
1/8
looking
of a
at.
pint in flaws.
Fluid ounces.
Ah! It's too much.
How much?
That's more than a shot. A Nipperkin is more than a shot.
Why?
Yeah.
Because
that would
a
be
shooter,
a big nip.
It'd be a big nip.
a shooter is 1.5 fluid ounces. A Nipperkin is 2.4.
But that's how much a shooter
But this is ballpark. Like this
A
is
shooter's more than a shot.
A shooter's 50 milliliters.
no.
Look that up.
No,
A shooter is more than a
no.
shot. I wouldn't know because I'm not 21 and I've never had alcohol before.
Flaws in a shooter.
Nip.
Okay, you need to
Dude,
learn how
you
to
need to
spell.
learn. Just say
Oh.
nip. 'Cause
Shower?
no one calls it shooters.
Or because you looked up shower. This is 0.6 ounces. What? 1.5 fluid ounces.
1.5. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, and there's no,
Okay,
that's in a
let's look it
shot.
That's what.
Fireball, little.
Yeah, let's get to the bottom.
Fluid.
Little bottle.
Christ, this
But he
is
can't
not-
spell anything.
50 milliliters, which is 1.5 fluid ounces.
Wait, zoom in on it. It says 1.7 fluid ounces here. So what about now?
It's more.
Brown
It's
cow?
less than the
Well,
Nipperkin,
all
but it's
right.
more than
How now,
Nipperkin,
brown cow?
Nipperkin is 2.4.
Okay, but you're still not as right.
Well, you know how a 5K isn't necessarily 3.12 miles. You know, it's like the idea of the distance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all relative.
It's like how a marathon is 26.2 miles, but not all marathons. It's like around that. You know, that's what
Yeah,
I
that's
think
true.
a Nipperkin and a nip.
So you're telling me, Dean and Rory,
Yes. Yes.
that when you hear the word nip, the first thing that comes to mind is let's put it on.
Not me, because I'm not
The first
21 and I
thing-
don't drink.
The first thing that comes to mind is one
need to
of
make that
these
very
little
clear.
The first thing that comes to mind is this.
yes.
That's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear nip.
First
and it's
thing.
not boobs.
Well, you need to
You're
turn your
telling
mic
me-
up, you dude. You're just in the conversation now. Turn it up.
You are telling me that when you hear the word nip,
Yeah.
the first thing that comes to mind isn't boobs.
And how did I start this conversation, Will, though? I said I call it a shooter.
Context.
So I agree
Will.
with-
Rory.
Context.
Agree.
I'm saying there's a lot of context behind that. And no, first thing I think of when I think of nip is Nipperkin. That's why I said that.
all I'm saying.
I'm just
No,
I'm
all
just
I'm saying
like,
is that when I walk around at the tailgate and someone's mother offers me a nip, I'm not assuming she's gonna take her shirt off. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
I'm saying she's
Well-
maybe perchance, and I would say no because I'm
Perchance.
not of legal age. I would say no, of course.
Yes, me as well.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. Yeah, I think it's ridiculous. Well, the whole reason I brought this up was because
20 minutes
Massachusetts
ago.
has a nip ban upcoming.
I know.
And there are these big petitions. And arguably, I think, and this is speculation, but I think that, like, Massholes are the people that are, like, using nips the most, you know? You know, one
No, I
time,
agree.
a funny story, went to a Patriots game, and my little brother, who was pretty young at the time, we didn't want to get caught with nips, so we just shoved it in, like, his socks and, like, his
Yeah.
jacket because they're like, they're not going to, like, search a kid
As I've
for
heard
alcohol.
people do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's-
of
And
course.
it's like a total,
Heard.
like, it's like a rite of passage. In Massachusetts.
Currently, there are nip bans in
Including
Chelsea.
Newton. Look at that.
Chelsea, Falmouth, Mashpee, Newton, and Wareham.
All right, I'm going to be honest. Foulmouth is the most ridiculous pronunciation of Falmouth that I've ever
You
heard.
I
just-
said Falmouth.
You didn't even
Falmouth.
comment on a place being called Mashpee.
Yeah,
after that. You just
Mashpee.
immediately went to
You're
the
talking about
Falmouth.
fucking Foulmouth instead of
I grew up in
Mashpee.
Massachusetts, but I will say, from an outside perspective, like, the town names are really funny. Like Mashpee, there's also a town in Cape Cod called Sandwich. And
know, yeah.
on the police cars, it's Sandwich Police. It's just like pretty funny. It's like, all right, no one's coming for your turkey club, bro. Like, chill the fuck out. But yeah, there are some weird.
But Newton.
Yeah, not Brighton
Newton,
though.
wow.
So like, you go to Res, you can still get nips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Not
they
for
got-
me and Dean though, because neither of us are.
Because we're
Oh
not
yeah,
of legal
sorry,
age,
sorry,
of course.
sorry.
I don't know why
Of
you're
course,
recommending
yeah.
this or anything.
But yeah, I'm just saying.
Okay, wait. So, but Boston College is in Newton, right?
Yeah, I think this is like the sale of, not like direct possession of within that
Okay.
geographic location.
Okay, so like meth. Okay. Oh, not the same thing. Okay.
I just don't personally have experience with that.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know.
We did say earlier that the Romans invented math.
They did.
So.
Yeah,
I was just calling back to that. That's
I mean, Romans, like,
They did do
They
that.
were crazy, man. It's kind of crazy to think
That's
about.
interesting. That's interesting. What's the reason for this? And we're not doing that. What's the reason for the ban though? Is it plastic bottles? Is that the thing they're calling for? What do they do?
I don't know. Actually, we could have Will Google it, but it would probably take him 20 minutes because he'd look up like some ridiculous thing. I don't even know. I would say I think it's a littering thing.
Look up how many nipples are in Massachusetts. Look up
I
that.
don't think I'm gonna do that.
You're not gonna. Okay,
It's
just
just the
making sure.
population of women times 2. Oh, everyone times 2. I don't know why.
Wait, Rory, do you not have nipples?
Not everyone. Actually, you know what's a really interesting question that a logic question for you? What is the proportion of left hands in the United States?
It's got to be greater. It's got to be less than 1.
Yeah.
It has to be less
Are
than
you
Right?
saying there's
It has to
less
be.
left hands than right hands?
No. That's not the question.
No,
The
what
question
is the
what-
average number of left hands?
in proportion
per
to
person?
humans? Yeah.
It has to be less than 1.
It's not 1.
It's not 1.
It can't be.
Because if
Some
one
people
person
don't have
if
left
one
hands.
person got their hand cut off, then it's already less than 1.
And since they're not equal, like a right hand is different than a left hand.
Right.
You couldn't account for that, like people having 2 right hands. You
Right.
know? Because like if people have like sometimes you can have like more toes, or more fingers, but like
Mhm.
for like the sake of like orientation, like a left hand, you can't have like another left hand. Can you imagine?
Well, here's
having
the
2 left
thought thing.
hands?
Wouldn't it
quick.
be the same thing as a right hand?
Well, real quick. Here's the
Yeah,
thought
but-
thing. The number of fingers
Mm-hmm.
on a person. Do you think it's greater than or less than 1? And before you answer, you have to figure out what the percentage of people born with an extra finger is, because it's a lot higher than you think it is.
An extra finger. I would go as far as to say
Can you look that up? Will?
And-
Okay, don't eat it.
and extra toes are more common than extra fingers.
Okay, then let's do toes.
I know
like that.
more people with more toes than more fingers.
Okay.
What?
So look up chance of being born with an extra finger or toe, whatever you want to do.
Funny enough about that.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up because you're
Thank you,
talking.
No, I have a thing about this. The gene for having 6 fingers is actually a dominant gene.
1 in every
So-
500 people.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So
right?
do you think 1 in every
yeah.
500 people? Do you think there's more people born with an extra finger, or do you think there's 5 times, or do you think there's 5 times more people born with an extra finger than there are people without a hand? That's the question.
Wait, could you say that again?
So if you're trying to figure out if the average number of fingers on your right hand is greater than or less than 5, right? So that means on the one side it would be less than because more people have lost their hand or lost a finger or something.
Oh, so
right?
when you count, you're counting like loss of fingers as like if you have the whole hand, that's a -5.
That's a -5. So you need to
Whereas-
figure out if
okay,
there's
yeah, I see
5
what you mean.
times more people. So 1 in every 2,500 people doesn't have a hand, or if there's more people born with an extra finger.
So like I think you have to look at it too as like the tree of like if people for just right hands, let's say, fingers on your right hands, 1 in 500 becomes 1 in 1,000 because assuming like an even distribution across the hands, like we're only counting 1 hand. So someone could have 6 fingers,
Gotcha.
but they could have 6 fingers on their left hand, which wouldn't count. So now we're looking at 1 in 1,000 people. Okay.
Right.
And then what the U.S. population is 320 million, probably more than that now, like 350
340
million.
now, something like that.
Yeah, 349 or something. In which case, I don't know how many people that would be. That would be three. That would be like what, like
Go ahead.
3,500, 3,500 extra fingers.
Yes. Is that right?
332 million.
332 million.
Okay, but in terms of what, like 3,300 fingers, 3,300 fingers.
extra fingers.
I'm lost.
What would that be?
Um,
no,
okay.
it'd be 1 in 5,000 if you're trying to make that right. If you do all in one hand.
What? No. Okay. Stay with me. 1 in 500 chance that someone's born with an extra finger, but it doesn't count on the left hand. So assuming like an even distribution, it would be 1 in 1,000.
Right.
Okay. The population is assuming like 3,000 people. Out of 3,000 people, there would be 3 people with extra fingers, and in that regard, like 3 extra fingers. Then, using this ratio, 3,000 That would be more than that. Wouldn't that
That'd be
be
a
like
lot more. That'd be like 100 grams.
33,000 extra fingers?
That'd be 100,000, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, that'd be 100,000. Right?
33,000
So
fingers.
let's get this: 33.
Yeah, this actually really
3319.
I'm
This
gonna
is
do my
vital.
own calculation.
No, I got
Let me
you.
have
I
a
got
calculator.
you.
Is the gene? I was trying to say this earlier, but the gene for having 6 fingers
110,000. Look at
is
that.
dominant over the gene for having 5 fingers. So if you have 6 fingers,
Really?
you're more likely to give your kid 6 fingers than give your kid 5 fingers, which
This-
is weird that not everyone has 6 fingers because you'd figure that.
Yeah, you'd think it would proliferate. This is very quickly
that's
turned
this
into the most
many.
useless podcast we've ever done, but I'm enjoying it.
This many
that's-
fingers.
that
Okay,
is a lot
so
of fingers.
Rory loves fingers.
roughly 350,000 extra fingers in the U.S., which is crazy. And it's even crazier that if it's a dominant gene, that like soon we're all just gonna have 6 fingers.
But,
Not
but
we,
do you
I
think
don't know
there are
about soon, but-
this many people without a hand in America?
Ooh. Oh, because then you
Yeah,
divide
I'm gonna
this
look it
by
up.
And you divide it by
5.
5. You have to figure out.
Yeah.
Do you think there's that many people in America without a hand?
70,000 people without a hand?
I think there's got to be.
I think there's got to be. I think there has to be because you're not even thinking about without a hand, let alone
There are
arm.
41,000
We are off!
No!
Oh my God! We probably
This
just
is incredible.
we probably just broke the eardrums of everyone in this
Okay,
pod-
guys. So
podcast,
for
but-
reference, in the U.S., there are 41,000 persons who are registered who had an amputation of hand or complete arm.
That's crazy.
I don't know what that has to do.
You know
with
what that
this
means?
conversation, but-
What that means is that the average number of fingers per person in America is higher than 5.
Yes, I think so because
It's higher
also
than
that is
five.
not including
Assuming-
people who were born with a defect where they only had 4 fingers and 3 fingers or 2 fingers.
This is true.
This is just amputation.
yes,
we-
but
do we
if we're
spend the
counting
time to
just the
figure
right
that-
hand, this number has to also be halved because
Halved.
we halved the first
Halved.
one.
Oh, so we're down to like 25.
So,
Damn,
yeah.
20,005. So,
Yeah.
do you think that the number of people born with a hand disfiguration is higher than 60 grand?
I honestly think this is a fascinating question. I think it's possible that there might be more fingers, but also at the same time, like you got to look at the fact of how people like lose fingers. Like I know people who have lost fingers randomly, and like
Randomly. Oh.
one of my old neighbors was trying to get something out of a snowblower, and
Okay, well, that was dumb.
yeah, dumb, but
was
still
dumb.
lost 2 fingers.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that takes down the average, you know.
That does.
With each
Did he lose a full
singular,
finger?
Yeah.
He did,
yeah.
okay.
Are we counting half fingers?
I was about to ask, did we counting
Would
half
that- would that
fingers?
count?
I don't know.
If
If I got the tip of my finger, is that like a 1/10 situation?
I don't know, and then no, probably not.
Well, I
feel
wouldn't
like
count
you'd have to
that.
have like majority plus.
You think functioning means you still have it?
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that. I can agree with that.
Yeah. You know, I don't know.
Wow.
I think like this is a
Wait,
fascinating question that we should really
1%.
do some research on.
This is the type of shit
1%.
FLS teaches you, though. They teach you to problem solve.
How to know? how
Oh,
many
never
fingers
mind.
someone has.
1 in 30,000.
to one.
Are born without a finger.
Okay, no shot. No shot. That means there are 30 times more people born with an extra finger on one hand. Oh, 60 times more people born
Yeah.
with an extra
Yeah,
finger
there's
on
a
one
lot.
hand. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I think it's got. I think it's more. I think it's got to be more.
Yeah.
We got 21,000 amputees on one side, and then another.
All right, so we did right hand.
Wow.
Now let's do left foot. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Although I do know, like, I feel like there are a lot of people. I'm not gonna expose them, but people who have like extra toes.
Do you really?
What?
Do I?
Do
What?
you?
Rory, do you have more than
No, I actually
5
don't.
toes?
But sometimes when people ask for a fun fact, I just say it because I hate fun facts. That's maybe a hot take. I don't know if there's a hot
I
take.
hate fun facts.
I
in my
hate fun
life.
facts. Everyone's fact is never fun.
No, it's
Give me a
always
fun
like
fact
weird.
right now.
Fun fact: I have 6 toes.
Well, prove it.
That's disrespectful.
For the right,
Yeah.
for the right amount of money. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Feet flicks exist. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Anyway. No, but you know, I'm just not a big fun fact guy. More of like a hot take. I'd rather have you give me like
Give me a hot take right now.
A hot take?
Yeah.
Honestly, like I feel like my hot takes are like kind of like I don't watch movies. I never watch movies.
Never in your life.
No,
Never.
not a single.
I already
movie.
asked you this, but Star Wars,
Yeah, seen it.
Harry Potter.
No. No. Like I've seen like one, but like I'm not like British people kind of like take me off sometimes. Not actually, that was a joke, but like yo wizard Harry, and it's like all right,
Oi,
stop
Harry.
talking like
Yeah,
that.
Earl Wizard. You know he's
Yeah,
Scottish,
wizard.
right? Isn't he Scottish?
I don't know.
I don't know. Patrick. I would say Hagrid. Hagrid's something else. What about
He's like a
you seen Lord of the Rings? Seen any of them? What did your
No,
parents
I've
make
never
you watch when you were a
seen
kid?
Lord of the Rings. My parents never like made me watch anything. I don't know. I was like I've seen some movies, but like chances are you ask me about a movie, like there's like a less than 50% chance that I've seen it.
So you've never been enamored with the whole Oscars thing?
No. Oscar the Grouch? What movie is that? Elmo? I hate that movie. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, I don't really love the Oscars. I don't like.
Because the people that are
Yeah.
into that are obsessed. It's obsessive.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like if
I
you
don't
ask
know. I'm not
somebody if
really
they
big,
watch,
like-
if someone watches the Oscars,
Yeah.
then they watch every movie that comes out every
I mean, you
single
have
year.
to. And then it's like.
It's obsessive.
Like who in the Oscars, like what people are like sitting down, like literally watching every movie, like that's
Right.
and then deciding like which movie they like better. I feel like that's just subjective. Anything when it comes to art and like grading art, I think is tough.
Right.
You know, I just don't know. I'm not well versed enough on it.
I'll say if you sit down, because the point, obviously, movies and TV shows is entertainment, right?
Of
So if you
course.
find it entertaining to sit down and judge movies, fine.
Hmm.
I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense. I would rather watch Harry Potter 6 times. That's an example. I would not actually watch
Six
Harry Potter
times in a row?
Maybe not in a row. Over the course of a lifetime, yeah, I'd watch it 6 times.
Ooh. That's a kind of a crazy thing that I've never thought about. Is how many times do you think you'll watch X movie in your lifetime?
Harry Potter, I've already seen it 10 times.
Yeah,
That's
interesting.
it's probably, I heard they're making a new series for it, so maybe that number will go down and the new series will go up. I don't know.
I don't know.
Who
The
knows?
other thing is like you never know when the last time you've seen a movie in your life will be.
You'll never know when the last time you do anything in your life will be.
Yeah, true.
That is kind of terrifying.
This could be the last time I'm on a podcast because people are like, "This guy sucks."
Why the fuck did you talk about
They spent
feet?
40 minutes talking about like how many fingers there are in the U.S. It's wild.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. But I'm curious now. Wait. Let's backpedal a little bit. You guys have hot takes? Like anything like actually hot takes? Not like
Real quick, I got bombarded, or what's the word? No. What's the word? They snuck up on me by some news station that BC's got. It might have been WZBC. I'm not sure. And they asked me in the quad. They were like, "What's your BC hot take?" And I like freaked out. I was like, "I don't fucking know." I said that the football team's not that bad, because that is a hot take.
I don't think that's a bad take at all.
Okay. You're alone, because even I
Like,
think I regret that.
I don't know. That's like a lukewarm take. you
What
know?
did I say?
There's
I think
also,
I
like,
said
FSU should have dropped 80 on us.
they should have,
and they won by 3.
and we should have stood a chance against IUD. Who did we play first?
IUD.
Who'd we play
Bro,
first?
that is
Holy
It was
not.
cross?
Northern. No,
NIU.
NIU.
I also
Not
think
important university.
I also think like when you play a tougher team, you play better. You know?
Like mentally, you
Yeah.
perform better.
Yeah. I used to be like a nationally ranked ping pong player, and I would
Really?
only play against people who were like better than me.
Well,
like
that's-
if like one of my friends was like, "Yo, let's play ping pong," I'd be like, "No, I can't. I'm sorry." Like it would make me worse.
Regardless of whether or not that was a joke or not, that is a good way to live life. Is
As
only
a
is
nationally ranked
staying.
ping pong
Okay.
as staying what?
Staying around people that are better than you. That's a good way to live life.
Yeah, that's the point. I think it goes for like a lot of disciplines too. Like if you surround yourself with people who are better than you, you will rise up to the occasion and be better.
And that's why he's here right now.
Therefore,
Yeah.
my plan is to put BC in with like Alabama and shit for like a year, and then like take them out, put them back in the ACC, and then all of a sudden they're like an epic team. I don't know.
It's not how that works.
Yeah, I don't think they
I
could
don't
do
think
that,
they
but,
would be able to
you know,
do
I don't
that.
have the power to
I'm
do
not
that,
sure
but
we can do
it would be
that.
cool.
It would be cool to
Perhaps.
have an easy win for everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I live in Alabama, so I think it would be cool to see BC down there.
It would be cool. It'd be cool to see us in a big stadium that's filled. you
Yeah,
know?
with people.
We have how many seats is alumni? 40,000, something like that. It's huge. It is a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Really.
Google.
Well, I mean, depends how many people you can squeeze onto a bleacher.
Right. I mean, there's probably more people in there than there are seats. No, sorry. in the seats that are being used. Yeah,
Holy
45,000 seats.
44,500 seats.
Yeah, and I will say
Yeah.
most of the stadium looks
amount.
empty, but that's because the student section has a lot more people than are supposed to be there. So I
Yeah,
think
that's
if
true.
you spread
That's
them out
true.
more, it would look a little bit more full. Is all I'm saying. I think probably 5,000 students minimum consistently come to every game. And obviously that goes up depending, like Red Bandana, you got a lot more people than that. Home or Parents Weekend, you get more people than that. But when you get into like November, I'd say 5,000 is a good baseline of
Yeah.
people that have the gold pass and go into the stadium for a time.
Sure.
And I think we crammed them into a single section. So I'm just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's that like back corner is just like, you know, mob of people where like one false move and like,
You're down.
yeah,
You're
you start
down.
the wave.
It's like Travis Scott.
But like a bad wave.
Yeah, it's like Travis Scott's
Yes.
concert here. Exactly
Except
like that.
not as bad.
Except that there's places to go if you feel unsafe.
Yeah, you could just like step off the bleacher.
Step off the
you know?
bleachers. Do y'all do an FLS tailgate? I'm gonna keep coming back to FLS once every 20
Yeah.
minutes.
Once
Just
every
like-
20 minutes.
Oh, we're at 50. We've got one more
spent
chance.
Way too much time talking about toes and fingers. Yeah, we actually do. We're planning on doing like an alumni tailgate with our alumni, which would be like super fun, just because it'd be great to like see them and hang out with them. But in terms of like normally, like not really. Although like I said, a lot of us are like close friends and stuff, so like we go to similar tailgates. One of our senior friends like has a consistent tailgate spot, so we always go see her family and that tailgate. But yeah, that's a good question. But not really anything like too special.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if like, do any clubs have like a tailgate spot?
No, but
That'd be
high
wild.
schools do.
What?
You've seen this, right?
That's crazy.
Del Barton.
Oh, come on. I mean, well, 50% of the
Delby
DC population
is from
is
Del Barton.
Barton. Maybe. I don't know.
They have that massive green flag hanging
Yeah,
up. I
yeah,
always
yeah.
see. I remember I walked in there one time because I saw one of my buddies there. I went to say hi, and immediately before I even get to him, who do you know here? I was like, it's like a frat. It's like frat.
Classic.
Yeah, they know how to tailgate.
Mhm.
I'll give them that. Yeah,
That is fun.
it is crazy how so many people from BC went to Delby.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think this weekend the game will be the most fun. You know, Parents Weekend game.
Parents Weekend.
You got hella parents there.
Mhm.
It's fun.
Mhm.
You know, the typical. You know, you go up to a tailgate spot. You find the queen bee, the dad of
Yep.
the tailgate, the one who's like grilling, the one with like he's got like an apron on, even though like there's really no like reason for that.
Right.
And you go up to him, and you're, oh hey, haven't seen you in so long. He has no idea who you are, but you know you're on your way to the mods. You need a free drink, so you're like, hey, how are you? And he's like, oh, buddy, it's good to see you. Grab a drink. And then you just, you know, like dine and dash.
You know, you sprint out the left door.
But no, I've always thought that's pretty funny on game days. You know, like there's always like these personas. You gotta out tailgate the person next to you.
There are bad
know.
ways to go about doing that.
Yeah, you know, it's
And
like
I've seen it.
They get a tent, and then oh shit, well now we need a tent, and then you put up a tent, and then they're like, oh,
and then
they
they've
copied
got
a tent.
banner and a castle outside.
Yeah,
of
and
their
all
car,
of a
you
sudden,
know?
like, you know, they got like real, like serious, like infrastructure, like tailgate infrastructure. but yeah, you know, tailgates be like that.
Yeah, I know students can be really unsmooth with their attempts to get free food. I don't know if you've seen this.
I
but
haven't
they
seen it
just-
'cause I'm
They
too
walk
smooth
up,
with it.
can I have food? No, you can't do that. You can't do that. You gotta pretend to know the person.
I'll give you guys this
Gotta let
one
them know
piece
they
of
feel valued.
wisdom here.
Give me that.
This one piece of wisdom. It is almost foolproof on like most good days, but you walk up to like the free food, specifically something that's not in a prepackaged container. This is the goal, which are honestly like most times the better things at a tailgate. And you go up to like the person who's like, you know, standing behind the table. The mom is like the best one to go up to because you go and you'd be like, did you make these yourself? And she'll be like, oh, yes, I did. Oh my gosh. And then you like have one and be like, oh my God, these are like the best things I've ever had. Like my mom loves to bake and stuff, and she loves when people like enjoy her baking. And I think like that's like the key is just like, you know, you got to talk your way into it. So that's a big piece of advice.
I hope you know I'm clipping that. Right. Like, this is going to be your promo clip on the Instagram. It's going to be you telling people how to steal food at tailgates.
Is that
Gonna have
incriminating?
nothing. No.
But it's not like
No.
stealing food.
No, it's complimenting the chef. It's flirting with
It's
moms.
flirting with moms,
Yeah,
but
this goes back to
in
the nips
like,
thing we were talking about earlier.
Nipperkins.
Nipperkins.
Yes.
Yes. It's how you get the
root of the
Nipperkins. It's
word.
how you get the cookies. You know, same
Yeah,
idea.
you know, it's like, I mean, it's out there. Look at the flip side of this, right?
Mhm.
Like, you get like out of the game as a parent. You know, put yourself in a parent shoes. You get out of the game, and then you're like, oh man, like here I am walking back to my car. I have like 3 bacon, egg, and cheeses.
I
like
know,
a bunch
we
of
lost
like
by
sausage
50.
meatballs. I
I
lost
just
by 50. I have to
gotta
clean
get rid
this
of
shit
food,
up.
yeah.
Like I have like a bunch of White Claws that like I don't know how often like parents are like drinking White Claws, but like I feel like probably not as much as, you know,
Other stuff. They tend
yeah,
to like the more high quality
wine
stuff.
and, like, other
Even
parent
noons.
beverages.
Noons are becoming popular with the rents.
Yeah, you
it's
know,
true.
but like that's the thing. It's like then like they want to give it away in a sense.
Mhm.
So you're doing them a favor, you know.
You
You're
really
like-
are.
You really are.
It's
You're
just
like,
sitting there. What are they gonna
yeah,
do with
and
it?
which parent is gonna be like, no, I didn't make these. Like, get out of here.
And if they've
Like,
got some alcohol left, then
yeah.
I'd take it and give it to the closest
Yeah, I mean,
21-year-old.
like, I'm just
I'd
gonna-
give it to the closest 20
Yeah,
because I can't
exactly.
drink it. You
Yeah,
know, someone
I
else
mean-
gonna have to drink it.
Look, like
Yeah.
if there happens to be a little leftover alcohol, like I'll take it off your hands for you, but you know, I'm not gonna like beg for it or like, you know, flirt with the mom to get like some of the baked goods that look really delicious at
Like
9
really
a.m.
delicious. Like
Really
I need
good.
me one of those.
Like banana
oh.
bread. Like, oh, you made this? And they're like, yeah. I'm telling you, that's the wave. It's the wave. But yeah.
You've done a great job
Tailgate wisdom.
incriminating yourself this entire podcast.
Really,
so I
you
appreciate
know,
it. No,
yeah,
I
I've said
appreciate
some
it.
Sus things.
People,
I don't even know. Like,
and we were
Yeah.
recording this stuff before the podcast too.
the
Yeah.
before the podcast.
I'm gonna sell that
is
on Patreon
even
or something.
worse.
Yep,
Yeah.
that was bad.
I could get like canceled for life.
You could.
About all the
About all-
how I've stolen $15,000 in milk. Don't repeat that. Don't put that on the air.
Oh no! Oh no!
Is it? Are we recording?
Oh,
Dude!
Oh,
my
no! God! Oh
You're gonna
no!
Cancel me for my milk theft.
Oh God!
That was only partially a joke. You guys missed. Before this, we were talking about like the milk value over time. But yeah, I love milk. Just if we could end on a good note.
He loves nips.
I
And
love
he loves
milk.
milk.
I never said I love nips.
He invented
I
the-
wanted to
the-
inform you the root of the word is Nipperkin. That is an important takeaway.
And with that, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Rory. I appreciate it.
Thank you for
President
having
of
me,
FLS. I'm not sure if he wants to associate.
Yeah, I
anymore,
don't know.
but-
Honestly, these days, like for this podcast, probably not. But it was a good root of our conversation. I appreciate you having me here, Dean.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming on.
Thank you.
All right, send him out,
And
Will.
Thank you to all of our listeners. Come back next time.
I didn't. Did I give that impression? A little bit. You were the one who couldn't Google things. Holy shit.